think it's really good how many different local groups and specialists have come out and met a really wide diversity of audience from both the local community but also further afield. I think that's been really, really good.
Things have gone really well. Had lots of people, which is really, really good. Loads of people organising and helping out. Stand went really well. Loads of families were joining in instead of just children. The broom making went really well. Loads of people were really, really fond of that, and also the bread making. Those people were really, really enthusiastic. So yeah, really, really all-round good day.
I think it's obviously been a really, really well publicised event. Can't believe how many people came, considering the weather isn't the most inviting. So that's one thing that was brilliant. The other thing that's been brilliant about today has been the number of volunteers supporting all the activities. I think they really make a difference. They're really enthusiastic and knowledgeable, and really know how to work with people and get them involved in the activities in this wonderful environment.
Today's given myself and the group of disadvantaged young people from Bristol that I come down to do some conservation work, and the chance to discover Exmoor and give a little bit back, and the young people enjoy it. It's part of the John Muir Awards that we won.
Oh, I just think it's fantastic to see so many people that have come out. Really, I mean that's the real tribute to the organisation of the event, because it's not exactly a sunny autumnal day. It's warm, okay, but it's a bit grey, and to see the car park as full as that is really heartening, because it's the organisation that makes it really good. I mean, the people that have put in the background to this is just excellent, and we've done it for several years now, so we get better every time. And fair play, Dave, Pat, Adam, Paul, lots of people put a lot of effort in.
Fantastic day, very atmospheric with the low cloud. Yeah, it's really added to the Halloween feeling about it all, so yeah, excellent. Another great turnout, lots of people here, so another great event.
What went well? General organisation went well. It's a good site. We had a good number of people turning up running activities. 1610 always bring a lot of people with them, so they brought about 50, I reckon. People purely came because they came. 1610 were there. Volunteers are doing well. We're a pretty slick machine, I think, with the big adventures now. So
we've had loads and loads of people, and we've really enjoyed having people come along and do arts and crafts, leaf rubbing, and finding their creepy crawlies and putting them under the microscope. I'd like to see the kids' reactions. Brilliant.
I think that the advertising was better this year. I think I saw it more on Facebook, and in the schools that I work in, I saw a lot of posters. I saw it in Minehead as well, so I think that was better.
Thoroughly enjoyed being out here today. There's been lots of lovely people here, some children who've really seemed to be very interested in what we're doing, so it's been a delight working with them. I like working with the other volunteers and the staff members as well too. They're such an interesting bunch, and they've got lots to say for themselves.
I'm very pleased and surprised that everybody's turned out, as it's such a foggy, damp day. And I think just the numbers of people that are here is, well, a credit to everybody really.
I think it's all been really good. I think when you look around, there's always more things you could do. Always keen to spread the news and do more promotion. But I think generally, it's gone really well.
I think some of the different stalls and things could have been a bit more closer together. People were a bit lost at times, but no, it's not really good.
The only thing that springs to mind is that when I came in the direction I came from, there wasn't any signposting, and I actually overshot, and when I came and turned round there was signposting the other way, so it's a minor thing, but other than that, no, it was all very professionally ran very smoothly.
And the weather, the weather improving, that'd be good. But no, it's been really good. You know, lots of young people enjoying the outdoors, which is I think really important to get people out of the towns and cities and get them onto the moor, because it is a treasure that we have here.
I can't think, it's definitely better than last year, and last year was better than the year before. So in that respect, whoever's organising it is learning and doing great things. I can't think of anything, to be perfectly honest with you. If I can, I'll say, but we could have had a different variety of marshmallow maybe. there could have been a bit more science in the toasting of marshmallows.
We had a road closure down the hill, so that's prevented people perhaps accessing the site as easy as possible, but things like that are out of our control at times, so never mind. That wasn't the event itself, that was external.
I was really looking forward to Exmoor Bistro being here. They're like the hot food people, so I was looking forward to some hot food, but there wasn't hot food, so.
I still think what I said before was that I think you need more signs and posters down on the actual main road leading up to Ebbers Post, because I think people aren't confident enough to come and find the area themselves. And the other thing was, I mentioned before, was perhaps doing some transport from Minehead, because we have enough trouble getting people to the sports centre and we're in Minehead. So,
Apart from the weather, you mean, which we can't do anything about? No, I think that things have gone pretty well, much as expected. We've had a lot of interest shown in our leaves and fungi, and fortunately we've got somebody here that can identify the fungi.
Well, the great thing about Big Adventure Days is that you always get people coming along with fresh ideas, and there's a real serendipity, a real creative process with it. So things that were here last year we haven't got this year, but there's new events this year, new activities. So I think each year's got a freshness which happens fairly naturally, which is really positive.
Maybe like to see a few more things for people to do next year, but not a desperate need, so really, really good.
I think that variety is always good, and from what I've seen from these big adventure events, the activities are always quite different. So I think, varying it, because I know that some of the people who come time after time, they maybe have been to 4 big adventures this year, and maybe they come to this one every year. So, keeping it fresh.
One comment, I tell you what's interesting is that people don't get how far the walk is, perhaps, the orienteering trail. I mean, people just aren't used to walking, that's the bottom line. And in some sort of way, a long and a short one, maybe, I don't know. But people don't quite get distances, and perhaps they need a little bit of warning on that, but it didn't put them off, they just do shortcuts.
Well, the easy access trail that's here, we've got wood carvings that are placed around them it was an event in 2004, International Wood Carving Festival, and I would love to see more wood carving up here, and the carvings being replaced perhaps, so while people are here, chainsaw carving and that kind of thing, I think would go down really well.
We can always try and get the word out more. I think we might have missed getting notices into schools, but then it's how much effort you put into what payoff. We didn't really push it with posters up and stuff for this, but it's one of the best attended because it's just this time of the year. So, other than having more people to come, more self-sufficient people to come, they wouldn't need tables or us to do anything. Maybe that's a thing, but I think this is a pretty good event as it is. I can't think of any major way to improve it.
I'd have Exmoor Bistro here.
Well, I think possibly if we had more experts here that could identify some of the insects that are brought in. I mean, I do flowers, I said we've got somebody on fungi, so perhaps people on other subjects as well.
I've learnt loads. I've been spent quite a lot of the time with the Exmoor Natural History Society, and they've had their fungi experts in. And on a day like today, I've learnt loads. So that's been a real that's the icing on the cake for me. So that's been really positive.
Yeah, I did actually. The liking, I learnt loads of new things and helped some children. So. Yeah, learnt some of that, which was really good as well.
I've learnt that lichens, which is what my project's about, essentially, are just fascinating, and it always amazes me how interesting other people find them. It's wonderful. There was a family who had come and spoken to me and the volunteers and looked at our lichens, then they'd gone on their own adventure and came back with some lichens that they'd found, and I don't know, I always find it quite moving, that kind of thing.
What have I learned? Complete optimism in people, really. I love it. I love it when people are prepared to come out and have a go and learn. And just if lots of people get together, a hell of a lot can happen. And the cracking volunteers, loads of people doing a little bit. makes a better whole.
Oh, you're always learning. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but yeah, that's what I love about doing this kind of work, really, always learning, meeting new people.
I've learned what the Exmoor flag looks like. About the event, it's the 5th one in the year. We've been doing them for like 3-4 years, so not to worry so much because things will just sort of come together.
Yeah, that I really want to be a witch.
I do differently. Well, for one thing, that I decided to give some little treats to people who did well on my quiz, and my tin just wasn't big enough, so I need to remember that next time. But otherwise, I mean, that's a measure of how well it went today.
I have, but I've possibly learnt that people are still interested in wildlife if it's shown to them. They don't know what's out there, so I think it's up to us to get the message over.